Hey, how's it going, artists? Walid here. It's been a while. In this video, I'm gonna show you a quick tip that'll improve your art a lot. We're gonna sketch some stuff today, so stay tuned. Alright, so if you've gone through my concept art and sketching tutorials, you've heard me say this a lot in the past. Simple is awesome. I repeat it throughout my courses, tutorials, and my posts all the time. Maybe too much even. Actually, I take that back. Never complicate stuff that doesn't need to be complicated. So simplify your shapes, your lines, edges, your compositions, your color schemes. This will many times over improve your art, your rate of progress, and level of professionality. So I want you to try this out. Next time you're sketching and creating art, use more angular lines and simple boxy shapes, rather than curves and smooth round shapes. Angular and boxy lines and shapes are easier to do, they look edgier and cooler and can make your art stand out more. Curves and rounded edges and shapes and stuff, of course they're vital to know how to do for artists, but I see too many beginners just do unpracticed and sloppy lines when they're sketching and painting. It's just not very simple and easy to do well. Like, take a look at these rocks I sketched the other day. So you see how boxy and angular they are? Now, let's try this method for something that's quite round to illustrate this better. So let's do a narwhal, because they're awesome and round. Let's use some reference. Narwhal. Okay, so wow, narwhals look like this. They're like unicorns. Man, super cool. Anyway, I definitely recommend using references like all the time until you got it really nailed in your visual library. So we're gonna use some of these references today. I found another one that was pretty cool. This one. Let's use this one. All right, let's sketch a narwhal. So I'm just gonna sharpen this guy here. And as I said in my course, don't use any like cheap stuff. Use a good, sturdy sharpener. All right, so first of all, when we're looking at our reference, we want to see the general form, right? And so to just overcome the fear of a white canvas, let's just start putting down some lines. So let's say it goes from there to here or something. That's the main the width of the animal here. So let's just put down some lines here. And try to make it, as I said before, kind of like angular. So it goes up like that. And then it comes out there. Now we can always fix this later. I just want to put down some lines first. And obviously I will do some rounded shapes, but you see how I'm kind of just doing these sort of straight lines? Okay. And then something like that. So I can do this a bit further out. Just following the form that I see, the shape. Let's see, so it comes like that, and then we have fin. There's no need to rush this. So I'm still keeping it kind of angular. Okay. Can erase. Here. And this is a really good one. It's a kneadable eraser. becomes something like that, and the eye is here. Okay, has a little bit bigger head. And the actual unicorn thing will stick out here, but anyway, so this is the mouth here, and it goes down kind of like that, and then we can just add some minimal shading here. Doesn't need to be so much. Okay, so I'm seeing that there's quite a distinctive line here. I'm just adding that small thing because I think it helps a little bit with the recognition of what this is. And just add a few marks. So since this is just sketching, we're not really worried too much about specific details. And what you see me doing now is just I'm adding these sort of contour lines where it kind of shows the form of the animal a little bit like that. And so this part here is a little bit more covered in shadow. So like that. Just emphasize. Now the light is coming from here, so we don't want to make these lines up here too thick. But where there's shadow, you can definitely do that. Alright, so I'm still kind of keeping it a little bit angular. Now, the horn sticks out outside the image here, but let's add that in there anyway. I'm just tilting here to get a better. Okay, so it goes down. Can do a bit smaller one. All right. So it goes along with the animal. Let's just do this. Okay. And then it kind of also has these this weird unicorn looking. All right. We can just emphasize these a little bit more. A bit more volume. And just adding a bit more line weight. Now I'm talking about all this stuff in my upcoming course, Sketchmaster, and that might be out when you're watching this video, but yeah, if it's not, then stay tuned for that. All right, and then we can start adding some more marks around here. We're trying to keep it kind of minimal with how much detail and shading and stuff that we do. And you see, like on the actual reference, there's more round stuff, right? But what we're doing now is just we're kind of approximating everything. So we're not gonna make every single detail here. We're just gonna get like what it is that we're seeing. So I'm seeing like some round texture shapes here, texture marks and stuff. Sort of add that in. And it's nice to break it up a little bit, like you see these small breakups here. That, a little bit more line weight over here to say that this is in front there. And then we can do some shading over here. And this goes up a bit more. Using references is the best practice you can do as an artist, I think. All right, let's add some more shading to this. Okay, kind of keeping it very light. And so like this whole part here is under shadow, so what we can do is just add a bit of that. See how I'm kind of following the form? Like I'm not doing this or something. I'm just following where the narwhal's body is going here. So yeah, it's a bit shame that the page was too small, but yeah. And actually, here's a cool thing we can try to do. Let's just add a bit more stuff before. So let me get the a pen. Let's see where I can find that. All right, so I have this ink pen here, which is really cool. It's a fountain pen. So I've been talking about this earlier in my videos and stuff, where you can just emphasize things in your drawings using an ink pen. And so what we can do here is just some of the outlines here. You can just emphasize a bit more. Gives it a nice sketchy look. You don't need to do everything, but just a bit. And if you don't have this, that's fine. You can just use a darker graphite pencil. I just noticed this is blue. So I'm just going over the lines that I've done before. Just gives it a nicer feel. A bit like that. Then we can do this as well. We don't want to go overboard with this inking stuff. Unless, of course, you're doing the entire drawing in with this tool. Okay, go back with pen. It's kind of forgiving to sketch sea creatures because they look very natural. Stuff around, make it look sketchy. Oh, and a pretty cool thing you can do is, like, once you start referencing enough animals and, you know, landscapes and things like that, you can start making your own concept art. So you can start thinking about ways of putting, different habitats together, different animals together, and creating some really cool stuff. So like, let's say this narwhal. So I'm just thinking like we could make him a little bit more like, I don't know, like a stegosaurus or something. So perhaps we could add these cool looking horns. And I'm just gonna sketch that in for now and see how it looks. Now obviously it'd be good to reference stegosaurus for this, but kind of certain just like this. And I'm taking some freedom with it as well. Still kind of keeping it angular, following the same. Okay, something like that. Let's just add that in and see how that looks. Now, there's no animal that looks like this, but you can make these concepts pretty quickly and easily. Granted, you study different references. If you just take it out of your head, it can sometimes not look so good. People don't really understand what it is you've done. But like this here is kind of understandable, what this could be. Alright, just emphasizing a bit here. And we can make some shading. And of course you can explain these a bit more as well, like you can start writing things here. So let's say these are for maybe like the stegosaurus, they use these for catching the sun, I think. So whatever, let's say that this guy goes up to the surface a lot to sunbathe. So we can just say that. Alright, awesome. So test that out next time you're sketching, doing studies and paintings. It will improve your art a lot in my opinion. Now I'm gonna go through some questions you guys have been asking, and if you're wondering anything, just type it in the comments, any suggestions and so on videos that I can make, and yeah, I'll try to answer as many as I can in the next video. Okay, so Peter Puleo, do you ever sketch with a mechanical pencil? I do sometimes, so I don't have to carry an eraser around. Yeah, definitely. I love sketching with mechanical pencils. You don't have to sharpen them, and you can travel with them easier than having the eraser and extra pencils and stuff like that. So I just have a regular mechanical pencil with usually a B, those graphite rods. So yeah, definitely a good choice. Roni asked, what do you press to flip the entire project? So you're referring to Photoshop, I guess, and the thing I'm doing there is that I'm pressing Command H, and that's flip canvas horizontally. So you go under Image, I think Image Rotation, and then flip canvas horizontally. Amira Mullah asks, hey, when will the course open? So my cinematic design course opens next month, February. So February 2020 is when I'm opening the doors again for new students. And it might be next year again that I'm doing it after this one. So we'll see how it goes. I'm trying to focus more on the students who do come in. Du talar svenska? Ja, jag talar svenska. But don't care about the details at this point while making cracks on the rocks. Yeah, that's a good point. So I often say like details don't matter as much, but the thing is that they do matter. It's just that they don't matter as much as everything else. So once you have everything set, you know, the composition, the shapes, the flow in the scene, the story, all that stuff. When you have that, you can start putting in these details as you go. Like if they're important details, then just go ahead and do them. Yusuf Akar asked, there is any long version of the intro music? So I'm getting quite a lot of questions about my music. And so in all these videos, I compose my own music, and I haven't released any of them publicly, but I'm thinking about actually doing it. So you can stay tuned on that for more info. But right now, there's no real uploads on the music that I'm using right now that I'm composing for the courses and for the videos here. Salazar Art Nation. I buy sketchbooks from the dollar store. I'm less precious with those. I've also started buying a few extras to hand out to young artists I know in my area. They love it and use them right away. Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's a tip that I give a lot, is to not buy these like super expensive, leather inbound sketchbooks, because you're gonna get kind of afraid to paint or to draw on them, sketch in them, because they're so nice, right? They look so good. So I definitely think that's a great idea to just buy these cheap sketchbooks and sketch away. You'll just improve so much better. And it's awesome that you're giving that away to young artists. Kudos on that. J Conception. What kind of pencil do you use? So I use anything really that makes marks. It doesn't really matter. Like I bought these like 20 graphite pencils. They're HB pencils for like $2, I think. And they work perfectly fine. I think in this video I used one of them. But usually I switch it up a bit, so I use like 3B, 4B for the darker areas, and then HB for light sketching. And my favorite is actually B. I like to use B a lot, but as I said, it doesn't really matter. You can just do what feels best for you, or whatever you have lying around. Borka asks, this tutorial is nice, but my problem is, what's the point of drawing things without construction? I don't think drawing, for example, skulls, without breaking them down to simple shapes first, will help me to draw them later from different angles or in perspective. This is a great question and a great observation here. Now, I totally agree with you. You should definitely learn how to break things down to simple shapes and simplify things. That's key. Just understand how things are built up, how you can draw them, their fundamental shapes, and all that stuff. And you're just going to be able to draw them in any different angle or perspective or anything you like that. So that's a great thing to practice. Gab Scott, can you go more into drawing a bit? I want to learn more about it, and the other ones I saw from you helped me a huge amount. Thanks. Yeah, so mostly on my channel, I actually do like painting, digital painting and concept art and stuff like that, like backgrounds and a lot of landscapes and environments. But the thing is that I like to do drawing as well, of course, like sketching and stuff. So I'll definitely do that more. I see that there's a lot of requests and a lot of excitement around the drawing and sketching videos that I do for you. Now, I am actually working on a sketching course right now, so that'll be out pretty soon. Hopefully in February as well. It's going to be a smaller course than my bigger one. So yeah, stay tuned for that. But I will do more drawing videos, and the one I did right now, that's a good start, I think. Aaron says, I just started a new graphics course, and you have no idea how helpful these videos are. I'm happy to hear that. Although I may not have the best resources, I still make do thanks to these, so thank you. By the way, do you use any sort of graphics tablet? If so, what kind, or what kind would you recommend? So yeah, I do use a graphics tablet. I use a Wacom Intuos Pro Medium. Now I love this one, the new version of it. It's very slim, it's a big painting area, and I travel with it all the time, so that's definitely something that I recommend. Don't use the mouse. Conrad GM, would you ever consider doing a character concept art tutorial? So I am doing that in my concept art course, in the cinematic design course, and I haven't really done a lot of that, outside of that, but it's not really my main thing. But definitely I can start doing that more on this channel as well, like how to do character thumbnails and evolving them a bit more like that. and character design and stuff. So definitely a good idea. All right, guys, that's it for this time. I'll see to create more videos, because it's been a while for me to upload anything on this channel. And if you have any suggestions, any questions, anything like that, let me know. And stay awesome until next time. See you soon.